In the heart of an African village, there lived a humble fisherman named Kofi. His family and the village were suffering from a severe lack of food, and the once lush lands had withered away. Desperate to provide for his loved ones, Kofi decided to venture to the forbidden river rumored to be enchanted. The Forbidden River was a place said to host evil night creatures, and so nobody went to it. However, Kofi decided he had no choice and that he would go. One moonlit night, Kofi set out on his wooden canoe, navigating the dark waters until he reached the Forbidden River. Casting his net, he caught nothing. After a long time, he started to become frustrated. He then decided to cast his net one more time. This time, he was astonished to find not just ordinary fish but a stunning mermaid named Oma. Kofi was stunned and mesmerized by the mermaid beauty. However, he wanted to catch a fish and not another creature. Kofi then released the mermaid. The mermaid was happy. "Thank you for releasing me. Can I know your name?" the mermaid asked. "You're welcome. My name is Kofi." "Nice name. My name is Oma. I was told by my mermaid sisters that your kind are vicious creatures, but you are different. You let me go easily after you caught me," the mermaid said. Kofi laughed. "Well, I only came here because my village is lacking food. Our lands are becoming dry and we have no fishes in our rivers. That was why I came. I have a little sister and my grandmother at home. I want to provide for them," Kofi explained to the beautiful mermaid. Oma sympathized with Kofi. "I think I would be able to help you. I am the princess in my kingdom," Oma said. Oma then promised to bring prosperity to Kofi's village, asking only that he return to the Forbidden River to talk with her, as she rarely had company beneath the moon's gentle glow. Oma told Kofi that he should drop a stone into the river whenever he came. That way, she would know that he was around and she would swim to come meet him. Kofi thanked Oma and then returned back to the village. As days passed, Kofi began to go to the Forbidden River to talk to Oma, the beautiful mermaid. Oma asked about Kofi's village and how life was there. Kofi explained everything to Oma. He also asked Oma about her kingdom. Oma told Kofi that it was a wondrous sight adorned with corals, seashells, and other beautiful things Kofi had never laid his eyes on. Kofi began to make his visit to the Forbidden River more frequent. He couldn't wait for the day to become dark so he could go into the forbidden waters and talk to Oma. Unknown to him, a group of jealous fishermen had noticed Kofi's mysterious nightly trips. Fueled by curiosity and envy, a group of them decided to follow him one moonlit evening. They walked a long road that led to the Forbidden River from a distance. They made sure that Kofi was at a distance so they would not be spotted. When they arrived at the river, they hid and saw Kofi talking to the enchanting mermaid. The fishermen, driven by fear and ignorance, decided to rid the village of what they deemed an evil creature. One calm evening, the fishermen, seizing an opportunity, approached the Forbidden River. They had noticed that Kofi always dropped a stone whenever he came to visit the mermaid, so they did the same thing. As Oma saw the stone, she swam towards the boat and then saw the fisherman. The men then used cunning and deceitful words to deceive and trick Oma. They claimed that Kofi had sent them, tricking Oma into thinking they were his friends and allies. Oma, who truly believed that the men were from Kofi, became very happy. However, as she let her guard down, she was captured and taken to the village. The fisherman then presented her to the king as an evil and malevolent creature. The fisherman told the king that Omar was the creature in the forbidden river that had cursed their land and made it barren and unfruitful. However, swayed by fear, some villagers demanded she be punished for their misfortune. They didn't know that Omar was the one that brought restoration and fruitfulness to the land due to the deal she had made with Kofi. Meanwhile, Kofi, who was unaware of the treachery that was ongoing in the village palace, decided to visit Omar in the Forbidden River that night. On his way, he saw footprints close to the shore of the river. He began to suspect if anyone had come to the river earlier. Kofi decided to brush off his thoughts. He entered his canoe and dropped a stone into the water like he always did. Strangely, Omar did not come to meet him. Kofi waited for a while and still Omar, the beautiful mermaid, did not show up. Kofi became worried. He was sure something bad had happened. He then remembered the footprints. As Kofi decided to step out of the forbidden river, something unexpected happened. Numerous mermaids gathered him on the spot. Kofi was frightened, but he remained calm. The mermaid then told Kofi that they knew he had been seeing Omar, their princess. They told Kofi that she was missing and that Kofi should tell them her whereabouts unless they would kill him without hesitation. Kofi was confused. He didn't know the reply to give the mermaids. Everything happened so fast. A few nights earlier, he and Princess Omar were having wondrous conversation and enjoying each other's company, but all of a sudden things had changed. What do you think will be the fate of Princess Omar and Kofi? Will they be reunited or will both die without seeing each other again? Find out in the next part. Please like, share and subscribe to Folktales. Till we meet again. Kofi pleaded with the mermaids that he was unaware that Omar was missing. His heart was heavy and troubled. With a shaky voice, he pleaded with Omar's sisters to trust him. He recounted the tale of their encounter. He explained to them that if they let him go, he would find out what happened to Omar and return her back home. The mermaids hesitated for a while. However, seeing the honesty in Kofi's eyes, they decided to release him with a warning: bring back our sister or face the consequences. As Kofi rushed back to the village, the weight of the impending task pressed heavily on him. The villagers, unaware of the unfolding drama, continued with their daily lives. Kofi knew he had to act swiftly to save Omar from the clutches of the fearful and ignorant. When he arrived the village, he heard what had happened and how some fishermen captured a mermaid and took her to the palace. Kofi knew he had no choice but to save Omar. With determination in his heart, Kofi sought out the wise elder of the village, recounting the entire story and pleading for help. The elder, recognizing the gravity of the situation, told Kofi to catch a very big fish and present it to the king as an honorable gift. He, however, gave him a powder to pour in the fish's mouth after catching it. Kofi did as the elder said. He caught a fish and presented it to the king. Normally, in a situation like this, a party would be thrown in honor of the king, and this was exactly what happened. The king threw a party and the palace soon forgot about Omar, the beautiful mermaid. The elder had warned Kofi not to eat from the food that the palace would cook with the fish. This was because of the plan that the elder had devised. That evening, the palace ate and married. Even the guards joined in the merriment. After some time, everyone that participated in the party, that ate and drank, soon fell into a deep sleep. This also included the guards. As soon as Kofi saw what had happened, he went to where Oma was kept. He then broke her out of her cage and returned her back to the Forbidden River. The mermaids in the water had been watching the land, trying to see if Kofi would keep to his promise. Soon, they saw Kofi bringing Oma back to the water. This made them happy and delighted. They then truly believed that Kofi was a man of a pure heart. As Oma went back into the water, Kofi told Oma that he wasn't sure what would happen to him when he returns back to the village. He told her that he had tricked the king and the palace to make sure she was safe. Oma thanked Kofi and told her that she would protect him. She then gave him a special necklace to wear around his neck. She told him that as long as the necklace was with him, she would be able to know what was in his heart and if he was in trouble. Kofi then returned back to the village. As he arrived, he went to meet the elder of the village. The elder then told Kofi that they would both go to the palace to explain everything to the king. Kofi did not argue but believed in the wisdom of the village elder. As Kofi and the elder got to the palace, everyone was awake and well. However, the king was furious that Kofi had tricked him and had released an evil creature that was causing calamity in the kingdom. Kofi and the elder then explained the truth to the king. They told the king everything that had happened. They then apologized to the king for tricking everyone. However, the elder explained to the king that if they had not done what they did, the people may be reluctant to release Oma and it could result to war with the mermaids. The king still wasn't convinced about what he had heard. He told Kofi that he would be executed close to the Forbidden River. The king then said that if truly the mermaids were not evil and were kind-hearted as Kofi had explained, they would not allow him die. However, if nothing happened and the mermaids did not show up, Kofi would be killed for his transgression. That evening, Kofi was taken to the Forbidden River to be executed. The king, his guards and a few villagers were part of the company. At the river, Kofi dropped a stone to call Oma. However, Oma did not show up. Everyone waited for a while but nothing happened. The king then ordered Kofi to be executed. At that very moment, Oma rose up with her sisters. Oma then explained the connection that she shared with Kofi and how with her magical powers brought prosperity back to the land. The king apologized to Oma and her sisters. He begged for their forgiveness and told them that there would no longer be fear among her people and his village. And so that was how Kofi and Oma ended up saving each other and uniting their worlds. Kofi continued to visit the Forbidden River, not out of necessity, but out of a genuine connection that had formed between him and Oma. The villagers, now enlightened and grateful, celebrated the union of the terrestrial and the mystical, living harmoniously with the enchanting creatures of the river. The tale of Kofi, Oma, and the village became a legend, passed down through generations, a reminder that love and understanding could overcome even the darkest of misunderstandings. And so, the Forbidden River's gift became a timeless story of redemption, hope, and the enduring power of unity. Hope you enjoyed this story. Please subscribe and share for more interesting stories. Till we meet again.